many 2.0s. By the way, just as a matter of interest, who all will we be able to see at the event at Dallas? Who all is coming there? Wowzers. Okay, tons of people are coming as well. So, Kevin, if you want to just welcome everybody, sing a song and tell a joke, and I will need like about 15 more seconds to get something ready for them.
All right, I don't have any songs or jokes, guys. I'm not funny and I can't sing, so it's too bad.
Actually, I've heard you do karaoke in Japan, so I
apologize for you having to hear that publicly right now.
I'm not kidding. I was actually surprised
that it was that bad. I knew.
No, it was actually surprisingly good. I did not expect that.
Oh, Carly just busted me.
Yep.
Yes, Steve, we will. We will. And this, guys, I'll tell you what, while Hitesh is setting this up, this is going to be recorded. And we will send it out to everybody immediately because we're doing this on GoToWebinar. If you've noticed, one of the directions we're going is we're moving towards a lot more Hangouts because we want you to see us. So, no poetry, Bill, no poetry. But we've been moving towards Google Hangouts, but sometimes we got to come on back to this good old GoTo, right? We got to come on back to the professional side of the house, and so that's where we are right now. We're sitting on GoToWebinar, and there's only 1,000 seats. So when you see these emails, just go ahead and make sure that you hop on early if you see us doing a webinar like this. Cool, cool, cool.
All right, I think I am virtually prepared to just walk you guys through the basis of DSC2 and why we're actually holding this webinar. Why would we be doing a webinar this close to the event, and why are we talking about things related to the event at all? Because you guys already know, hopefully, that Kevin and I are both kind of like, event, great, we would love to see you guys, but we're also not very like, oh, event, you got to come here and buy 4 tickets, 1 for your dog and 2 for your cats and 1 for yourself if you want. But we don't do that. We just don't like doing that to begin with. But there is a very significant change in direction that is starting at this event, where we're no longer just this MLM company that sells some training, or this MLM company that shows you how to make money online in this way. And in fact, the direction that we're taking also addresses a very, very big challenge that many of you might have also experienced, which is, oh, what do I do if the source of my product suddenly doesn't like me doing dropshipping? Or what do I do if the source of my product says, oh, do I fall under reseller or not? Or what if I'm moving overseas and now I don't know how to do this and pursue this? Or how do I start another income stream within this whole thing? I would like to build another income stream that is a little more hands-off than what I've been doing so far. All of those issues are issues that will fade away over the coming weeks. And to make that happen, we kind of needed this kind of a show of strength, if you will, from within our community. If you guys watched the video that Kevin had sent out, that would have addressed a little bit of that. But this direction that we're going, and it's not a direction that we're just talking about, yeah, you know, we're going to do this. This has already been in motion. It's already been set up. You know, the corporations have been created, negotiations have begun, and all that good stuff is happening. And this basically is a way for us to take our DST members and put them in the epicenter of a tremendous new thing that's going to start, which obviously doesn't cost you guys anything. We're not selling you anything. But we will only be allowing a limited number of people to begin with it, okay? And Kevin, I hate talking in riddles. I really just want to explain to everybody what it is, but that's one of the things that we'll be explaining at the event. But what we're trying to do is we're saying that, look, if you have an event ticket, it basically allows us to say, these are the people who are very serious about it. That's why we're giving you the full discount of the event ticket. That's why we're giving you all these bonuses. We're like, look, we don't want the money from the ticket, if you will. You can keep the money, and if you don't have the ticket yet, just get the ticket. Even if you can't come to Dallas, still get it, because this will allow us to take these 2,000 people or so who are getting the tickets and essentially include them as the first batch that gets pulled into this new concept, this new scale up of DS domination. Okay, it's the next, not necessarily logical, but the next leap up into the world of very, very major corporations. Okay, so we're discussing now multi-billion-dollar corporations and stuff like that. So we want to bring you guys along in that, and that's why we are so, like, please just make sure that you're a part of this group, because it's going to give you guys a new income source. It is also going to eliminate a lot of these issues that that some of you might have experienced over the last year and a half or so. I was selling, and then this company said, oh, we don't like you drop shipping our stuff and whatnot, and that'll fix that too. So that's one of the reasons why you've heard us actually talk a little bit more about the event and you guys having the tickets and stuff than you usually would. But we really want to pack on the value, and we receive a lot of questions. People are asking us about DST 2.0, and the people ask about, well, won't there be price increases? How is the price going to go up? We talk about discounts, and people say, what will discount, blah, blah, blah. So we actually just want to walk you guys through a couple of the things in it to show you the simplicity of the new version and how that functions. And in addition to the simplicity of the new system, we also want to show you guys what we have in store to make sure that you guys actually will drop your costs even more than what they are now, that you guys will be more profitable than you are right now, and we will basically be exposing to you guys a very tremendously strong marketing strategy that we're going to start applying starting in July, which will also quadruple the size of our company as a whole. Okay, so let's basically walk you guys through. Kevin, do you have any thoughts on that? And then I want to show these guys how DST2 functions.
Yeah, I want to keep this call fairly short because I know everyone's got stuff to do, and I want to get this recording out to everyone as soon as possible. So I'm just going to stay quiet for a minute, let you show.
Beautiful. All right, yeah, this is not a hangout, so this won't be like 2 hours of us bantering a little bit. So if everybody can see my screen, here's essentially how it works. You're going to select your store right here. Okay, obviously I'm not going to show you the live URLs for the stuff, because if I show live URLs, we'll have at least 1,000 people on them right now, and we don't want that. So you choose a store. Within the store, you get options of Amazon. If you're a pro, you get Amazon as well as the co.uk versions. That was another thing I want to clarify. This is ready from day one, like right out the gate. It is ready for both Amazon, the .com versions as well as the .co.uk versions. Okay, so you guys don't have to wait, if you will, and say, oh, the internationals were ignored. So here's your store. You enter just the URL of the product that you're selling. Okay, when you do so, it's going to load up the next page, and it'll already have the title pulled out for you. It'll already fill all the description and stuff for you. It'll put all the content in there. It'll show you what your minimum listing price needs to be for you to be profitable right here. Okay, and you will just define your profit goal. You'll just say, for example, I want to make 8% profit on the sale. Okay, great. You scroll down a little bit, and it's going to ask you, what sources are you using for this? If you're elite, obviously you get up to 5 different sources. If you are pro, then you'll get only Amazon or amazon.co.uk. And you will go ahead and just define your cashback. Now, there's a lot more sources as well. I'm showing 5 random ones here. But there's about 20 different sources that you can select here for management of your listing. And you'll define what your cashback is if you have cashback available. Okay. So, for example, let's say you are using a card which gives you a 2% cash back, then you'll just put 2% here. Or let's say you're using Overstock and you get 5% off, you just put 5% here. You'll click on Save Listing, and that is literally the end of your work. Okay, now I know that sounds like almost like, what? There's more to do here, but there isn't. That is literally what you do, and you're finished. Because from this moment on, our system kind of takes over, and whenever price fluctuates at any of these sources, you basically go ahead and the price gets changed out here as well on your listing. Whenever the stock drops, you can change that. I'm going to show you guys some options for that, some pretty cool things that you can define in here that will automatically do things for you. And then you can also go ahead and actually, when the product gets sold, and I explained this earlier, when the product gets sold, let's say you're sourcing from Amazon.com, whenever the product gets sold, our system goes in, it places the order at Amazon, takes the buyer's address, puts their address into the shipping address, and then after their product gets shipped out, it basically grabs the tracking information from Amazon or other sources as well in the future here, and then puts that information into your eBay account. So you don't really have to do anything in about 90% of the cases. You will have, in 10% or so of the cases, you do have some customer support here and there, but by and large, that's it. This is what you do, and you are done with your DS domination side of the business part. The e-commerce side is essentially completely automated from that moment on. Now, another thing that happens for international people, okay, and this is one big area of growth that we're going to have over the coming few months that hasn't happened in the past as much, because international people, although we like to say that, oh, we teach you how international people can do stuff, yes, we teach you how to do it, but really the training essentially is teaching you it's not very easy. If you're an international person from Bulgaria, it's not very easy for you guys to come in here and start growing, because you will need to start listing in your own country, and it'll take you a while. You kind of have to build up and so on. So if you're an international person, you would see over here the option for you to enroll in our international management system. And you would basically click on that and say, yes, I agree. And then what would happen is over here, it will show you how many listings we have available to you. So you know how eBay works, where you kind of scale up and grow over time. That's basically what our system does now internally, and it would give you a certain number of listings every month, and then depending on your performance and how well you're doing, those number of listings can keep going up. For example, you began, you're from Romania or India or somewhere like that, and then it'll say over here, you have 20 listings available. So you go ahead and you do your best, you do the research, you do all that good stuff, and you go ahead and basically make 20 listings, which is, again, a huge head start. You could have never done that initially. These 20 listings get tracked in our system, and when those 20 listings make sales, we are managing everything. The infrastructure is ours, the eBay accounts and everything are supplied by us. Whenever those listings make sales, we basically give a percentage of the profit to our international member. So now our international member can suddenly start generating income immediately. And then to take it to the next level for them, if their stuff is doing really well, then every month their number of listings starts going up. So every time the rebill hits, our system evaluates if they were a profitable user, if they did well with their listings, then the number of listings available to them will actually go up. They might wake up next time to 50 listings and eventually to 100 listings and things like that. Now, keeping in mind that affiliates now generate an income, which I'm sure most of you are aware of if you guys have been following along. Affiliates now generate an income not just from referring people to DS Domination. Affiliates generate an income from their downline actually being successful. All right. Now, keep in mind, this is as close to data entry kind of work as it gets. Internationals love that kind of stuff. There are a lot of people who are smart, they're very well equipped, but they simply don't have the infrastructure or the money in place to come in here and start building this kind of stuff themselves. They can't just come in here. They don't have their own account. That's their problem. Okay, that's basically their concern. So what the system does is it kind of gives them this huge head start. As you can imagine, bolsters our numbers tremendously from the international side of users, but also gives our US affiliates a chance to actually build a very strong international user base. And you can actually market this exclusively to international people in multiple languages and so on. So we have Spanish up here already. We are planning on bringing in a lot more languages. We know there's actually a very significant Russian user base, for example, that wants to do this and so on. So we have that working out as well. Okay. Now, through all of this, we're talking about all this fun activity that's happening. There's something that we're also going to start doing on our marketing side, which will grow our numbers very substantially and very quickly, and which is going to be done essentially by launches in the online affiliate marketing world, which is something that I had done very successfully in the past, which is something that Kevin has done very successfully in the past. And the way it's going to work is actually pretty unique. Actually, before I get to that section, let me just show you guys one thing. Okay, let me just show you guys just some global settings that are available. Okay, so this I'm going to show you in the wireframe style, because if I go to the page that has these global settings, that'll expose some things that we want to keep preserved until the event. But there are some global settings you can also define. So after you put in your source and you say where you're getting the product from and what your cashback and such is, you can actually come in here and say, calculate my profit with cashback included. So let's say you want to make 7% profit. Okay. If you say yes to this option, okay, so you say yes, then our system will go in and it'll look at the cashback you're going to receive as well. It'll account for that, and it'll say, including the cashback, you want to get to 7% profit, and it'll adjust the price accordingly. Okay, so it'll take the lowest price you can get to make sure that your sale happens very quickly, right? Because you don't want to be the overpriced guy on eBay either. Although that works and that's good, but it actually benefits you to do it slightly differently. And then we'll explain a little twist on this that'll just boost your sales to crazy levels, like almost immediately. I'll show you guys that in a second. Then you can actually choose end listing when the lowest available stock is whatever. So you can put, let's say, 4. So if you're tracking items and the item is available on Amazon and on Overstock and so on, but on Amazon there are only 2 of them available, and on Overstock there's only 1 of them available, you can choose to say end my listing when the lowest available stock is 4 or below. So we will actually end your listing early, that way you don't get stuck in this last minute, will I get the product or not, will the product ship or not, what if there's an issue with the order and so on, so you don't have any of those problems. You can actually just define to end my listing whenever the stock drops below a certain value, and you can just focus on items that have good stock available for them. Then you can do this fun thing, which is round price to the nearest XX dot something. Now this, what you're basically trying to say is that price my products always at, let's say, that end with a 95. So let's say our system goes in, it accounts for your cashback, accounts for your profit margin, accounts for eBay fees and all the other fees involved and everything. And it says that your price for the product should be $64.81. Okay. If you have this set to round off my product to the nearest 95, it will automatically readjust your price to $64.95. Okay. Which just gives you a few more cents, and whatever marketing price, I'm going to show you some videos on what marketing prices work best on eBay. You can adjust it to those different round prices. Now, on the other hand, let's say that the price comes to $65.18. It will adjust your price down to $64.95. So that way it keeps you always competitive in terms of making sure that if you're above, barely above this threshold where we know you get more sales, it'll bring you down below 65 instead of keeping you above 65. So that's a little fun thing that also helps you guys get more sales. You can also define if you want to use only the buy box from Amazon. So only order the choice that Amazon has given you. Okay, that's usually FBA choice. That's usually a choice that's on Prime and so on. This is basically allowing you the option that you can say, no, instead give me the lowest price available, even if that's not the primary buy box. Maybe there's another seller available on Amazon that is selling the same item but at a lower price, and it'll give you that option to go with them instead. And then finally, you can choose if you want to auto relist the same item on successful sale. So the moment the sale happens and you made some money at this point, what should happen next? Do you just want that logged into the database to tell you just made some money and that opens up another listing that you can make because you might have better products? Or would you like to auto relist that same item? It's going to go in, it's going to choose the sell similar option, and it'll make the relisting for you. So like I said, the idea is complete automation, because once you have your first initial listings in here that are doing well for you, basically the system will go in and create those listings again for you, will fulfill the sale for you, will calculate all of those fun little things for you, and that just keeps running in perpetuity. So kind of frees you up to do a lot of other things. And that's part of the reason why we wanted to bring out options domination, and we are bringing out these couple other things that I'm going to talk about a little bit. That's why we're bringing those things out as well, because now you guys collectively are, okay, I mean, keep this in perspective. DS Domination members collectively are the strongest e-commerce sales force in the world at the moment. Okay, we are responsible for literally hundreds of millions of dollars worth of transactions that are happening in the e-commerce world. So I want you guys to try and think a little bigger. We're no longer just thinking in terms of, can I make an extra $500 a week so I can pay my bills? Yes, you can, and you can actually do it pretty much automatically with our magical button of automation. But can you go beyond that, and can we actually, given the impact that DS Domination members are having in the e-commerce world, can we actually go to a slightly bigger level and introduce the other side of the stream as well? And that's basically why this event is kind of critical for us, and why this event is something that we are pushing, not as a, oh, even if you take out your last penny and you have to pawn your marriage ring, get a plane ticket and come. No, we don't want to do that, okay? We don't want anybody to do that. But we do want you to get the ticket if you can. For one, the ticket will be given back to you as a completely full discount on your products. Okay, so you will be getting that money back in some way, shape, or form or another, but you will also be getting a bunch of other bonuses, and you will get to participate in this new multi-billion-dollar side that we are opening up here soon. Okay, so that basically rounds up the functionality on the DS Domination side. Just a matter of curiosity, are you guys already aware of what happens when you go to fulfill an order, the automated gift card cashback that's built in and things like that? Because if it is, I won't cover it, but if you don't know about it, then I'll cover that a little bit. Kev, what are your thoughts?
I think you should cover it a little bit because we've had some questions about that specifically flow through.
All right. Okay. So let me explain what happens here. So we said that right after a sale happens, let's say somebody comes and buys this item of yours for $64.95. What should happen next? What happens next is, and as we know in majority of the cases, the supplier is Amazon. Our system goes to the source product, okay, so to the source URL, and it goes to buy the product on your behalf. Now, when it goes to buy the product, oh, by the way, let me address this point very quickly. So the very obvious question is, what does this whole thing cost? You know, this new advanced automation, all these cool things that are happening, obviously that costs a lot of money in development and resource management and so on. Where does that money come from? That money actually just comes from a successful sale. Whenever there's a successful sale, there's just a 0.25% cost, which is barely anything, and that's already actually built into all your calculations. So you don't have to worry about that too much. That's why this is basically going to be made available to you guys for not just free, it's actually going to be cheaper than what it is now, if you will. But what happens next is our system goes in to fulfill an order at Amazon, for example. So our system goes in. So here is your Amazon product. Okay, so let's just say it's /BP/ whatever the URL of the product is. The system goes there to place the order, and it's going to stop for a second, and this is something you can configure in your back office. It's going to give you the option that instead of just buying this using your credit card directly, there's an inbuilt cashback deal that we have worked out that will allow you to get basically a 2% discount right off the gate. Okay, and so what will happen is instead of buying the product directly, first our system is going to buy a gift card for you. Okay, and then it's going to use the gift card to make the purchase. Okay, so what's basically going to happen is, though, if the product is $100, it's going to buy a $100 gift card to make the purchase, but it's going to bill you $98. So it's going to actually give you a 2% discount in this process.
Oh, yeah.
So, thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
So essentially what's happening is that every time you use our automated system to do the whole thing for you, you are actually making more money. Not just because it's faster and it's all those wonderful things, but it's also actually giving you an inbuilt discount. Okay, now the cost at this point is 1.25% to fulfill. So your total cost for actually the whole process being completely automated is essentially just 1.5%, while we are giving you a 2% discount here. Now note another thing. Let's say you have a credit card in the system that gives you a 1% cashback, which is very easy to get. Almost every credit card gives you that. And we're going to give you some options to get other credit cards that give you a much bigger cashback as well. But let's say you have the card that you put in the system is going to give you a 1% cashback. Then here's what happens. Our system bills you $98, and then you get another 98 cents in cashback. So basically you have almost 3% in discount stacked on every single deal, right? Now on top of that, if let's say you're promoting a Genesis users members product, or if you are promoting a product that you have a coupon code for, you can actually stack the coupon on top of that. Okay, so this is your cashback plus stack your coupon code in addition. So the automation doesn't mean that you are going to make less money, because that's sometimes what happens. You have to give up some of the money to make that happen. But you actually will We're doing tremendously well just because of the automation, giving you a lot of extra cashback and discounts and so on. So what happens here is the fee that we have for all the automation that you don't have to pay upfront for anymore, that makes the product actually cheaper than it is right now. We'll explain that. There's a discount built in there. But it actually makes you more money, and this cost basically gets washed out by the cashback and the special discount and so on and so forth. So we try to make it like as close to a washout as possible so you get everything in the automation for free. Now, in some unique cases, you might be sourcing a product from a location where it might be a little more beneficial for you to go through another cashback company and then stack another thing and stack another thing. In vast majority of the cases, that's not going to be the case. In vast majority of the cases, you're going to get pretty close to the amount of, you're getting pretty close to the amount of cashback and discount through the automation as well that you would get doing it manually anyway. But you would always have the option, right? You always have the option to do so if you want. So that's basically what happens in the new DST 2.0 automation of all of this process. And as you can see, as a company, why this is a lot better thing, because now we are not charging our users for potential. We are not like an MLM company that is coming to you and saying, hey guys, you can make a ton of money if you just do what we tell you. By the way, pay us a bunch of money up front, right? Pay us $1,000 for this promise. Instead, we are saying, hey guys, we have a system that will make you money, and it's gonna be dirt cheap for you to get in, but we will only bill you. You only pay us when you are successful, okay? Which hopefully shows a lot of confidence in what we are doing. On top of that, the very fun thing about this entire process is that not only this shows more confidence, but this allows us to pay our affiliates on their downline's productivity as well. So we have, for example, some affiliates in our system who have done a tremendous job of supporting their teams. They've done a tremendous job of working with people and making sure they're doing well, but they're not huge marketers, right? So they might have a team of 100 people under them. They have 100 people compared to somebody else who has 2,000 people. But the guy with the 2,000 people is making a lot more money right now than the person with 100 people in their affiliate team. So here's what happens here. Now we give a percentage of this to our affiliate. We basically give a 0.6% and a 0.3% to our affiliates. Okay, so on the two tiers. So if I referred Kevin, and Kevin really goes after this and he goes crazy and he starts making $50,000 a month in sales, then I get 0.6% of that, okay, because of this automation. I basically will be making a 0.6%, which is, what, 50 grand? So we are basically making about $30 a month extra, or $300 a month extra. So I'm making $300 a month on Kevin's productivity now, just because he's doing well with the system, right? Earlier, the maximum I would make is $10 plus whatever the commissions were for Elite and so on. Now, instead, I'm making $300 a month plus the affiliate commissions that I was getting already. So here's what we are basically trying to do. We're trying to give a free, extremely amazing automation service and system to our users, which will just make our affiliates more money. And this is like the closest you get. You remember about like 2 years ago, there was a big rage, like 3 years ago. It was like free CPA commissions. Like you promote a free offer and then you get a CPA commission for that. And people are like, oh, this is crazy. It didn't work quite the same way. But that's basically what it is. You're now actually giving away, in a sense, this whole new DST 2.0 side is free. We're not charging you guys anything extra on top of what you have been paying in DST already. But this free system now generates extra income for all of our affiliates. And that's the whole idea behind this as well. Now you pay productivity, not just promises. You know, you're not paying the guy who makes the most promises and gets the most sales in. You're paying the guy who works with their team and actually develops, you know, real systems to help them out. And it also prevents the problem of orphan members. You know, a lot of members kind of get ditched because they're like, oh, you already bought Genesis? Well, I got the commission on you. I'm done. I'm not going to support you anymore because I got all the money I'm going to get out of you. Unfortunately, that is the way that sometimes people think, and not necessarily because they're diabolical and evil, but because their business says it's better for you to focus on the next new prospect instead of focusing on the person who already paid, right? So that business model actually creates this kind of orphan system. In our scenario, we have switched that around, so it actually pays you more to work with the guy who's in the system and is spending money on this, because you are actually invested in their success. If they are successful, you're going to be a lot more successful as well. So that's the whole, idea behind that side of things. Now, another thing that happens for our affiliates, though, is, like I said, one of our strategies, and this is something that we have wanted to do for a while, but as we know, I get a lot of time. Since I have a lot of free time, I just wasn't able to do this because I was vacationing. So now that we have some ability to do some things out over here, what we're going to do is we're actually pulling out all stops, and we're going to start doing some launches in the affiliate world. It basically goes like this. It's something that we call the front-end product or the loss leader product. The money is actually made on the upsell, and then the back-end offer is your ultimate goal. Okay, that's what you're trying to get people into. Okay, this is just basic marketing stuff. So here's what we end up doing. We go out there and we launch a product that, let's say, shows people how to generate an income using YouTube marketing, or let's say that we show them how this amazing system or amazing trick behind how to generate an income using a prefixed funnel. We show them a funnel that's working really well. Things like that. They're very simple to do. We are at the point where between Kevin and I, we could probably do it in our sleep, and because of Jason, we can probably do it while awake as well, so that we're not dreaming. But here's basically what we do. We get the front-end product in place, and let's say this product we're going to sell for $12 in the outside world, not within DS Domination. We're not saying that we go to DS Domination members and sell them this product exclusively inside DSD. This is in the outside world, okay, on some major network, ClickBank, JVZoo, whatever, okay, somewhere out there. And then we have an upsell of, let's say, $47 that maybe shows them directly in the process and gives them the insights, gives them the actual exact funnel they can put in place and start replicating themselves. That's just an example of one product. We have about 12 different ideas already on what we're going to do. And then the back-end offer is obviously DS Domination or Options Domination, depending on which one we're working on. The DS Domination backend would always say, well, here is where you go and plug the system in, and here's how you generate all this extra money from running this funnel. When you run this funnel, people will sign up, and when they sign up, you get paid money from DS Domination, plus you get paid money on their productivity. Okay, so that would be the backend offer. Bring people to a webinar, close them there. I've done it I don't know how many times, and we are very, very successful at it. So what does this do for the affiliate? Well, here's what happens. Now, typically, obviously, if we were creating the product and doing the product and working the launch and writing the sales copy and everything, we would be paying ourselves. Now, in this case, what we're going to do is for all the DS Domination affiliates, in your affiliate back office, you will actually see the option to enter your JVZoo affiliate information, enter your PayPal information, enter your information for whatever the network that we're going to put this out on. You just go and enter your information in there. And then every sale that happens of these products, the affiliate link on that happens internally gets rotated to one of our affiliates. So 75% of the commission on this thing goes to our affiliates account. Okay, so if you're an affiliate in DSD and you're generating some sales, and it's weighted based on how many sales you've already done, right? So if you're somebody who has done 1,000 sales, you will be in the rotation 1,000 times more than somebody who has one sale in DSD so far as an affiliate. So this basically rewards you in an yet additional income stream if you're an affiliate, and all you do is you just put your JVZoo link in the back office and you just let the thing run. What do we get out of it? Obviously, we get a lot more people from the back end. In the launches that I've done in the past, doing 1,000 to 2,000 sales over the first week was very much the norm. Okay, that's usually what we would do. Now, when we do this with this entire system, and we have a bunch of extra affiliates, we have this entire database and everything else. When we run a launch in here now, we expect at least 3,000 to 4,000 sales pretty much happening right away. And I'm very confident we're going to close at least 10% on the back-end offer. So we grow with every launch at least an additional 400 to 500 more users who are then invested in growing DSD as well. So as we do this and as we scale this up, this is going to be very, very profitable for everybody, but it's also going to grow DSD organically as a whole in very tremendous ways. So that's another income stream. Like I mentioned, this will begin in July. Okay, so there's going to be time for you guys to understand how it works, to get your own affiliate marketing ramped up internally so you get more weightage in the system. And of course, this will be made available first to the ticket buyers. Okay, so the first launch or two are going to be restricted just to our ticket buyers for the event, because that way there are less participants in the system, so more profit goes to them as well. Okay, as you can imagine, if there are less people in the rotation, then you get a bigger cut of the entire thing. If we generate, let's say, $100,000 from this, then $75,000 gets distributed amongst our members, and that's just an example. So obviously, and then on the back end, when they join DS Domination, they are credited to the person who referred them, right? So the person who was given the affiliate link here through the rotation will also be getting them in DS Domination itself. So you will also be getting a lot more people joining your organization as an affiliate in DSD as well. Okay, so does this kind of make sense? Does this? I'll
tell you what, it makes sense to some of the a lot of the affiliates. But I'll tell you what, if you're going, I'm not sure what is happening there with all those launches and crazy JVG stuff on the back end. And if you're looking at that and not sure what's going on, actually don't worry about it. Basically, take it as we've done some marketing in the past that have put us in a position to do some advanced things that no one else has ever done before, and you're going to see the benefits of that financially. That's all you really need to know.
Yep. Basically, it's kind of what Kevin was saying at the last event. He was like, we are a family. Basically, what we're doing is we identified this as a strategy for growth as well as additional income. And instead of just going out and doing it ourselves and saying, oh, great, we just made an extra 100K, we're saying, instead of doing that, we would like to bring our entire DS Domination user base and say, here you go. Here's an extra income source for you guys, because we're a family and we do stuff together. Not so heavy on that we're a family stuff, guys, because that gets abused a lot. I mean, I've seen so many people say, we are a family, so I'm going to ask you for a loan that I'll never pay back. That's basically what people end up doing, and it just concerns me. Now, keep in mind, all of the stuff before this, if you just want to do your eBay and Amazon basic system, that's what you're already doing. You'll just be making a lot more money with that because of the whole automation and everything else. So you guys can just keep your focus on that. You don't have to even think about all this other stuff. But our idea is every time we can introduce a new income stream for you guys, we need to introduce that. Now, for those of you who are just doing eBay, Amazon, whatever, but you're just focused on the e-commerce side. Obviously, this was designed more for affiliates. Now, if you're on just that side, there is a bigger scale than this JVZoo stuff, okay? There is a bigger scale, and that's what I was referring to, where we are moving into a place, we're going to be on the springboard for something that's going to be in the multi-billion-dollar range. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you guys right now. I actually have a meeting on the 28th at the Harvard Club at 8 in the morning. My wife actually has to go buy a suit for me now, because obviously I just wandered around in khaki pants and stuff, and I wouldn't be allowed in that place. But we have a meeting, and this is all part of the direction that we're going into with this leap into a multi-billion-dollar space. Okay, and we want to obviously again bring our users along, and this is not just for affiliates. This is for people who are actually doing. In fact, people who are doing e-commerce very successfully right now are going to do way better in this thing that we're talking about. Okay, affiliates will do really well too, but if you're doing e-commerce successfully, this will let you have way more success. Think of it as something like this system that we just discussed, but just a completely different scale of it, where we are controlling the entire e-commerce process, okay? And you get to participate in the entire process. And just like every major company, eBay, Amazon, Netflix, Google, so on and so forth, these are all transactional companies. They don't provide a service directly necessarily. iTunes, for example, they connect buying and selling and things like that, and they basically have this transactional money that they make. They make profits from each transaction, kind of like what we are doing over here, right? When we charge just 1.5% on per sale, that's a transactional fee. Something like that, but we're talking about a scale bigger, higher up than what we're talking about. Like I already said, this group of people, okay, you 1,000 on this webinar right now, are part of a group of people that are the single strongest e-commerce sales generating force on earth at this time. Okay, so pat yourself on the back. If you can't pat yourself on the back, you might need to do some yoga and stretches. But if you can, please pat yourself on the back because you are part of this team. Okay, and this team has kind of been held back and underprivileged in some ways because we can keep your focus on your personal things, and you keep your focus on these small things and talk about little actions that make you feel emotionally better about yourself. And the problem with that is that you can feel emotionally good the rest of your life and not make significant progress forward. So instead what we're doing is we're saying, let's put you in a place where you don't need to feel emotionally better for yourself because you're objectively better off. And then you do actually realistically have a better life. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to push you forward in that direction. That's the big reason why we're saying get the tickets. The money for the tickets goes back to you guys. It's not a profit generating thing for us. We're not saying buy all these tickets because we want all this money from you. It's buy these tickets so you get to participate in this thing. We are already going to make sure that the entire cost of your ticket is discounted to you. So whatever you pay for the ticket is going to be discounted to you from this entire automation system when we make it live for you. Okay. At the event, we're going to show you exactly how you get the entire ticket price off of this. And if not right now, when we release the Amazon version of all of this with the new Monopoly, the new Genesis, and so on, we're going to be obviously revamping the entire back office right now with new videos and everything else that you're going to see in there. But you're also going to see this level of automation and slightly more than this actually on the Amazon side released in 6 weeks or so. Okay, we're going to give you an exact date for that. So this whole automation is on the eBay side, right, which affects majority of our users. But then we have this whole thing also happening on the Amazon side. And again, if you don't use your ticket discount on this, you can use a ticket discount on that. And if you don't use it on that, then you have another few things as well. So all in all, the point is you get the money back. We are not after your money. We don't really, that's not the aim here. The aim is to bring our team of most successful people into these new things that we are journeying into. Okay, and then as we do that, we become a way stronger company. We are no longer this company who's like, oh, are we an MLM? Are we a trading company? Oh, make sure that you don't tell them that you're from DS Domination because they might suspend your privileges of selling or something. That's not what happens anymore. In fact, it's a very different level of respect that also happens. To give you guys an example, I was able to get on the phone with Amazon Corporate, discuss things out with them, no problem whatsoever, negotiate this gift card discount and stuff. Guys are wonderful. They actually want to see success for our members as well. So by and large, all in all, this is what you guys are getting. This is what's coming. You don't really have to spend any more money on this. This is all included in everything. This just runs for you. And there are a few more things that are also going to keep coming out, you know, as we release more functionality and we release more stores and things like that. We'll put them in your back office and you guys can enjoy and keep running with this. But we're not just about making this process good. We are about this process is great. Now let's leverage this and move up the ladder of where we're headed to e-commerce and so on and so forth. So that's basically it. I think we kind of wrapped it up in decent amount of time. I was worried we'd like spend an hour and a half like we usually do. So what do you think, Kevin?
Well, I think that people that are leaving this call should kind of leave the call with two things. One is the richest companies in the world are all transactional companies. And there's one thing that they don't do that we do. What they don't do is they don't compensate you on this level. Imagine if Amazon said, look, you know, the vast majority of the revenue that comes in from our transactions that make us one of the richest companies in the universe, we're going to give that back to our members. They don't do that. We do, because it's all about your success and rewarding you for the positive and the good you're doing in this world. So just run with that, okay? We're actually taking a huge part of what could be profits and sending it right back down to you because we feel like these multi-billion-dollar companies out there should be sharing those profits with their member base, especially if they were DS Domination, right? So that's the position that we're in. We want you to profit from all this stuff. All right, number two, we're going in totally different new directions. And I'll give you one more example before we kind of wrap this up. one of the biggest hurdles that people face when they come into anything is getting started, right? So we're looking and we're moving in a direction where we can have teams of callers that reach on down and call our new members and say, hey, where are you at with this? Where are you at with that? Get to this level, and then we're going to get a consult call for you with a specialist to help you get your eBay stuff up and running. That's the direction that we're going, that personal touch. On top of all the automation, we're also developing and working out on the personal touch side of the house so that you get somebody in there that can really, help you out in that direction as well. So lots of stuff we have going on. So if you've sent me a Facebook message in the last couple of weeks and I haven't responded to you, please understand we are insanely busy doing this stuff, and it's all going to culminate into our entire user base in this company going into some amazing direction. And I'll tell you, there's one more thing I want to point out. There's two comments that were on here today that I was laughing at, Hitesh, and I want to share those with you. One is, my socks just flew off of my feet with the excitement that I hear and that I'm feeling. Craziness, right? The other one is, my hat just flew off my head with this information. So I just want to toss that out there because I love
Look, I think you might have something. If you have sentient socks that are able to fly off by themselves, I think you need to consider patenting them, and that's your next business. You can
there you go, and let us know about it.
Yeah. So now let me address a couple of things very quickly, because when we talk about a lot of these things, especially for somebody who maybe hopped on in the middle of I can't imagine that because we've been at full capacity since the beginning, but just in case somebody was distracted in the middle, a lot of the things that we're talking about, they'll sound a little bit complex. Okay, and the reason they sound that way, and the reason why we expose those things to you and explain those things to you is because we want you to make decisions yourself. We could have just as easily done a webinar, all hype, and we just said, you guys are making money, you're going to make 5 times the money, just pay us. Right? That's kind of ridiculous. I could have just walked you through this and said, look, this guy's making way more money using DSC 2.0, so you guys need to upgrade. And that would be a very successful financial strategy for somebody in our place. But the reason why we're explaining all of this stuff to you is because we don't talk about you guys being our family. We want to treat you guys as such. We want you to see what's happening behind the scene and choose if this is something you want to participate in. For those of you who are just like, okay, what does this practically mean for me? Practically, what it means for you is that you're going to fill out these boxes and hit save listing, and your business will be automated. That's what it practically means. If practically it means if you're making a certain amount of money in DSC right now, you're going to be making twice that, or maybe more, because you're going to have way more automation, you're going to have way more help, and you're going to basically no longer be limited by your time. And that is, I think, a pretty substantial thing. Overall, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. You can just say, I want to put this all out of my mind. Just tell me what buttons to push, and that's what I want to do. So I'm going to summarize it for you who wants to just push the button and move on. You're going to select your store URL. You're going to put in the URL of the product you want to sell. It's going to fill in these boxes for you automatically. Okay, it's going to put in shipping and return policy, features, product description, all that stuff. It's going to spin some of that for you. It's going to give you a keyword density to make sure you're not spamming. It's going to tell you what your minimum price should be for profitability. You're going to, finish all that out. You're going to select how much money you want to make on this listing, and you will basically just fill out the boxes here and hit save listing. You don't have to go to another site. You don't have to go to another third party. You don't have to try and figure this stuff out yourself. This will all get posted on your eBay account. It will get tracked for any price changes. It will get sold when it is sold, and it will get fulfilled for you on your behalf. It will also send an email to the buyer on your behalf and say, hey, buddy, you just bought the stuff. We've shipped it out for you. Awesome job. Here's a 5% discount off of this product, and try and generate sales for you on your behalf as well. So that's all completely automated. You guys practically have way less to do now. For those of you who are ticket buyers, you will get to participate in 2 very unique things. One on the affiliate side, as we break out into the non-DST environment, and you will generate an income from that. And for those of you who are on the e-commerce side, and obviously both sides apply to everyone, but if you're more interested on the e-commerce side, we're also breaking out into the non-DS domination environment there. And that will allow you to leverage efforts of not just your team in DS domination, but everybody in DS domination in the way that we're going. Okay, so imagine generating a small revenue stream off of every sale generated by members of DS domination. That's something that you guys will get to participate on as well. Okay, and just to be super clear, this is nothing like a revenue sharing program or it's nothing yucky like that, okay? This is just straight up a business model. We'll show you how it works, and we'll show you how you participate in it, and you will do very well with that. We have some other things also coming that we're in negotiations with that we can't promise you, and that's why we haven't brought them up. But if those things come through, like it looks like, we have a thing that Jason Rose is working on with one of the largest banks in the world to make it available just exclusively for DS Domination members. And typically when Jason is working on something, that means that something is going to happen, because if the bank doesn't, if the bank doesn't give him the thing that we want for our DST members, he will rip off their hangnails and stuff until they do. So he's kind of hard.
He's vicious and lovable at the same time.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's a bunch of things happening. You guys get to participate in all of that. The reason we are telling you to get the tickets is because it gives us this actionable list of, here are these 2,000 people who have already committed to working with us. We're going to give you guys the money back in form of discounts. And for those of you who already have all the products, you're like, I already have Pro and Elite and Supremacy and Monopoly and so on. What happens for me? Well, you're paying every month right now for Pro, Elite, and Supremacy, for example, right? We will show you guys, we will actually release a package for you so you can actually take the entire discount off of your existing subscriptions as well, okay? So we're going to release a package that will take your discount off of the existing things as well. So you don't have to worry about, well, I already bought everything, so how does the discount work for me? It will still work for you, okay? So now on top of this, we're going to be bringing back all the weekly stuff we were doing. About December last year is when we kind of switched to a bi-weekly to once every 3 weeks format for Pro Elite training, kind of a bi-weekly format for our prospect webinars and growth webinars and things like that. We're going to be changing that out a little bit. We're going to be bringing them back into a weekly format. We're going to have them every week. And we'll not just have, for example, many of the times it was just, fixed people would come out and teach and so on. We instead now have a roster, and you guys remember, we are no longer just, 3 or 4 guys running the whole thing. We actually have a team. We have a roster of amazing leaders who collectively between them are doing over $10 million right now per year on their e-commerce businesses and sales. So these guys are actually going to come on. You have seen a lot of these people, Sean Agnew, Dion Jaffe, Nathan Vanta. You've seen a lot of these guys already teaching you stuff. These are guys who are very much the reason behind a lot of the training in DST right now. A lot of the stuff that was taught over the last year, for example, was actually coming from these guys in many cases. So basically, these are going to be the guys coming out. You're going to be taught by specialists on their specific focuses every single week. So for Monopoly guys, for Genesis people, we have people who are actually doing Monopoly and Genesis right now very successfully. They're going to teach you stuff. For somebody who is focused more on the eBay side, we have people doing right now $100,000 to $150,000 a month in sales on eBay. And they're going to come show you some of the stuff that they're doing, some of the tricks that they're using and what they're doing, and so on and so forth. We're actually going to show you the real products that are generating money, not, oh, look at this product, you could probably sell this and you'd be profitable. We're going to actually we're going to show you the products that are currently selling and doing really well and so on. So we're going to have that come back weekly. We have very specialized, very awesome training. The last time we did this, we had amazing feedback. Everybody loved it. Everybody wanted more of it. So we're going to do that every week. We're going to bring back affiliate webinars every week. Again, the same line. We have specialists on everything. And then whenever Kevin and I have time, we will be teaching you guys stuff that we have done and how we do things as well internally. I think between the two of us, we are pushing somewhere around $7.5 to $8 million in sales ourselves in marketing. So I think we know some random things here and there. So we'll show you guys some tricks and stuff that we have been doing. And then we'll have the weekly prospect webinar in place for DS Domination and Options Domination. So you guys can do that. Oh, and I forgot to mention this little bonus thing. So all of you who are Options Domination members, you know how crazy the live sessions have been. We are actually now at 80%. Since March 15th to yesterday, the sessions were at about 80% win rate. You can see all the stats in your back office. So one of the things we're going to do is, if you're also a ticket, if you bought the ticket and you're in Options Domination as well, we'll actually be adding 1 week worth of live trading sessions to your back office. So you can just go ahead and take those trading sessions you get 5 of those and enjoy. It doesn't matter what level you're on, if you're inheritance or if you're an inheritance or enterprise or legacy. You get 5 extra ones, and you can just go ahead and party. So,
Hitesh, can we sweeten the pot on that?
Sure.
Can we do? I'm gonna put you kind of like under the gun right now. Who's listening to this right now? So
the first question I have is, how heavy is this gun? Because we put it under the gun.
Who here on this call is in options domination right now? Just go ahead and let me know. I want to see what kind of crowd we have for audio. Oh my lord. Okay. All right. Okay. We get a lot of them. So I would like to say this, and we'll see if we can get everyone who's saying yes, me, to go ahead and help me out here. If you're in options domination and you pick up an event ticket, Hitesh, can we do just a bonus live call with you to go over the entire system?
I don't think one is good. How about we do 2 of them? Okay?
Yeah.
2 of them. We'll have the trading team on.
Yes.
We'll go through it together. So we'll do that. And you know what? That I don't think that's right, that we would reward people not based on their level. So how about this? If you're inheritance, you get 5 trading sessions. If you get enterprise or legacy, with enterprise we will give you 10 sessions instead, and with legacy we will give you 15 sessions instead. Okay? So just there you go. Happiness all around. Yep. Lots of
the chat's going like insane. Thank you guys for helping me out.
Yes. By the way, I will be adding more session trades. So you will have extra trades coming in live session format as well. So these sessions are going to be worth a little bit more here soon. And then we are also going to be trying to bring in a session. Again, we're trying to bring this in, and we might not bring it in the form of a session. We might bring it in form of a different way. I'll explain that later, but it'll be just as profitable and fun for everyone. But we are also going to be starting another trading time, so you guys can actually get on a little bit more and not have to lose so much sleep as well. And you can attend 2 of them then every day. That'll be fun. So
you guys catch that? Because I didn't see any craziness going on in the chat. So the number one thing that's been outperforming everything else in the back office and in options has been those live trading sessions. And we have people that will stay up every single night to get on them because they are insanely profitable. So adding more trading sessions at different times,
and that's one of the reasons why I want to give those to inheritance members as well, because one of the problems I had, and this was the issue that I had with signals tables to begin with, is that there is, you have to do some analysis and then you have great results, but if you do it without analysis and you do it without Nadex, because Nadex is really awesome for those signals when you can take them. But a lot of the members on inheritance, for example, they come in and they're like, okay, I'm just going to take these blind trades. I'm not going to do any analysis at all. I'm not going to use any money management and things like that. So that kind of concerns me as well. That's one of the reasons why I do want to have inheritance members attend live sessions and see how different it is and how much better it is and so on. So we will you know what, I might make a permanent change where even inheritance members get some live trading sessions, because I think that's critical for them to understand that. Anyway, you know what, we'll have this discussion afterwards. For now, if you're getting the ticket, we're going to add a bunch of trading sessions for you guys. Depending on whichever level you're on, you get 5 at inheritance and 10 at legacy, 10 at enterprise and 15 at legacy. And you will get 2 special webinars with the trading team. We're going to go over specific signal types. We're actually going to show you guys a full setup. And obviously, keep in mind, if you're getting the ticket, you do get that super special secret indicator from me, which it is not for sale, hasn't ever been sold, will never be sold, that you guys will get to use personally if you want as well. Okay, so you will be able to work with that. By the way, just letting you guys know, these sessions that will be added to you guys, to your accounts, will be permanent sessions. So you can use them whenever. If you can't attend the sessions this month, you can attend them next month. They are the persistent credit, so you guys will be able to use those. Okay. All right.
And real quick, Mike passed out, and Thomas peed himself. So I think the excitement level is pretty high here.
All right. Well, brilliant. Before we cause more excretory messes around the world, I think we should just address any questions left. Okay, are there any questions left that we have to address, and then we will get going.
There's we're going to back this up just a little bit. Annalise asked, does the auto ordering from Amazon handle the use this as a gift option? So is it going to tag it as a gift when shipping from Amazon?
Yes,
yeah.
It will. Do you if you don't want it to, I can put in the thing that it will not. You actually have the option to do both, but yes, by default it is set up to do so.
Now Don wants to know, can we build a listing inside of DS, because that's awesome, and on some listings have DSD not fulfill the order?
Yes, you can. You can actually simply check, and there'll be another box over here that will say fulfill this listing for me, and you can just uncheck that box.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, Robert wants to know, when you're entering a product for the listing, do you enter the ASIN or do you have to enter the product URL?
You can actually do it with either way. I know it shows over here, please enter the product URL, but you can do it with ASIN as well. It's kind of the same thing. I just find that it's easier for people to enter the product URL instead of entering the ASIN, because they can just grab the URL up there and paste it in here. And you can grab the whole thing. You don't have to clean it up and prune it or anything. You can just put the big giant thing in here in one go. Oh, I didn't even address pictures, did I? Yeah.
No, I was about to ask that.
Yeah, you guys don't have to worry about the images. The images get pulled in the background, scrambled for you. They won't be tagged with your username and stuff, because that doesn't seem to help as much as it used to at one point. And they will get posted over to your eBay account automatically. You guys don't have to do anything really, unless you are doing it manually. If you want to do it manually, you can. You know what? I really should have shown this part. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys this one part because it wasn't shown properly. Okay, so there. Let me take this screen. See, the whole problem is because I have to hide the URL, I can't show you guys this stuff happening live. So here's, for example, the title on Amazon of this product. When I click on show suggestions, it's going to show me which categories I should be using and which keywords are the most searched keywords, as well as what different images are being used. Okay, so, and then you can select what the shipping policy you want to use is, and all the different stuff. You can select what shipping policy to use. You can select and that will auto-populate for you. You can pull a UPC code if you want. You can pull this all sorts of stuff. I mean, everything is already done for you in here. It's already pre-formatted for you. So yes, the title building is made available to you guys in here as well. You just couldn't see it in this image because I was showing you more of this stuff down here. But up here, you can also put Q&A. So for example, if you want some more unique content in there, you select, let's say, 3 questions from here. You say, pull in 3 Q&A. And it'll take 3 different questions and answers that have already happened on Amazon. And that way, you know, these are the questions that people are asking, right? So it'll choose 3 of those randomly. It'll pull them down there. And then you can spin them, or you can actually, I suggest you take 30 seconds to just edit them a little bit yourself so you can address the question, but it not be a copy paste or be entirely duplicate. And you have new content that makes your listing completely unique as well. Plus, it addresses potential questions that people might be asking. And really, I would love to show this to you guys live right now. I mean, if I could, I would just walk through it live.
But you can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a way for me? Let me see if there is a way for me to restrict a part of the screen. There is. It is there in over here. Nope.
No, unless you nope.
Wait, what about now? What do you see now in my screen?
You pause the. I see the Geizo shot.
Okay. Do you see the URL up here?
No, it's just a Geizo URL right now.
Okay, but you can see this URL up here.
I can see the Geizo URL. Yep.
See, that's what I'm trying to fix. If I can show you guys without the URL up there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I I wish I could show this to you guys live, because I could just literally plug in a URL, an Amazon URL in here, or Amazon or co.uk URL or whatever. I could just plug in a URL here and just show you guys how it just builds it in real time, because it will reload in about 5 seconds or 3 seconds or so. And it'll have all this content in here. You can pull in Q&A. It'll have the price over there and all that stuff already in place for you. You can just select which shipping policy you want. Let's say you're selling a very expensive item, right? Let's say you have a $600 product you want to sell. You would select your detailed policy from here. And the detailed policy will goes through in depth and explains all the different things and all the different rules about the refund and return and shipping and blah, blah, blah. You guys don't have to type that out yourself. It's just put in there for you. If you were selling a cheapo item and you're like, nobody's going to care about this shipping, they're going to care more about the Q&A, then you select the minimalist shipping policy, and that's going to show you a very short shipping and return policy that's very basic and addresses it, and then you can focus more on the Q&A part if you want. So
basically your head's going to explode when you use this. We'll just narrow it down to that.
No, it is not. You're entirely safe. You're welcome to use this. There's no harm will come to your head.
Yeah. So I got a couple more questions that are pretty simple, and then one question that I need answered from everyone who's on the call. So Beth is asking, real quick, Beth, I got you covered. She said, if we're affiliate pro and someone who signs up with a lead, will we make any money on that sale? No, you won't unless you own a certain amount of that. Go check our comp plan on that, but you will not, typically. So for another question from Beth, for the system to automatically price our orders from Amazon, we need to have a credit card registered with Amazon with lots of credit. I think we already answered that in the form of the gift card. And then Beth says, by the way, all of this is excited. I just want to get my nagging questions out of my head. I lay awake at night thinking of all these things. So thank you, Beth. Thank you. You're awesome. And one more question.
Did ask, does this also protect us from out of stock issues? And yes, it does. That's the point of this one right here. You decide at what point you feel unsafe listing a product, and it will end that listing for you.
Yep. And then real quick, I want you guys, everyone on here, I want you guys to answer this. Brad asked, what helps to separate us from others? What makes us unique? And there's a million things that make us unique. So I want your opinion. Everyone is on here. What makes us unique? I want to screenshot that. We got the leaders, titles, Hitesh, automation, everything. The integrity of you guys, attitude of helping others, training, we care. You guys. Will I have access to customer support and PayPal? No. The owners, the customer service, Kevin and Hitesh. All right, these are all answers that are just kind of coming through. I can't keep up with them. We're a family, completeness, upfront training. It's not about the money with these guys. Opportunity for multiple income streams. Comprehensive. We all work together. The attitude, the love that you guys have for us. These are all things, and I could literally keep scrolling on this. You see in this chat, Hitesh?
Yes,
and this is good. This is something I'm screenshotting, and I think I'm going to put it on my wall because it does help us. And so, yeah, there's a lot of things that make us unique. But one thing that really sets us apart from everybody else is everyone on this call. It's you guys. And you're going to see that play out at the event. You're going to see how this company is not about us. We're providing the platform, but you guys are the ones that use it, and you own it. It's yours.
Yep. That is honestly the case. Again, I will tell you right now, almost none of our big union affiliate leaders were huge MLM personalities or things like that beforehand. And that's been one of the biggest, most tremendous, wonderful things that we have seen, is because they have grown over time because they actually treated everybody in their downline like their responsibility, like they wanted everybody to succeed. So this has really been a company not just built by us, it's been a company built by all of you guys, honestly. And I keep saying this, pat yourself on the back. You guys are the biggest single cohesive e-commerce sales machine in this world at this point. Okay, so just that's done by you guys. I mean, we could build all the software in the world and all the training in the world and all the tools, but that's not going to make it. It's you guys doing something with it too. But while I appreciate all of this, I think maybe he was asking what makes our listings unique. I'm sorry, Gavin, but I think that's maybe what he was asking. What makes our listings unique? because then won't everybody have the same listing?
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to express, that you can use multiple sources for one, but you can actually edit your listings. This is not like a listing gets pulled in and just copy and just paste it over directly. You actually have time to reorganize it, change things in there if you want. You also actually get to insert images in there if you want, and so on. You can actually see there's a whole VisiBig editor actually over here. So you can actually make changes in this section, and there's also going to be a capacity for you to spin some of these things. So what you'll do is you'll enter, for example, everywhere the word organic is shown, also put natural, or randomly replace it with these different words and things like that. So you'll have those abilities in here as well. And all of that is going to be rolled out over time, right? In the beginning, that's not going to be the primary thing. The primary concern is going to be, can we speed up our listing speed? Can we also make this automated? Can we make our management better, and so on? So that's what the initial focus is. And then you will see all these insane things that we have planned and all these insane things that we wanted to do. They'll all start rolling out one on top of another, and you'll see it play out. That's why I said, by the time we come to July, the reason why we're planning on the big affiliate push in July is by the time we come to July, we will have all of this out. We have all of our Amazon side of things out. With on Amazon side, we have fully managed FBA. We have your buy box is controlled for you. You have your listing and your inventory is managed for you. You have backup places available for you in case of a product that you're selling is going out of stock, and so on. You will have automated ordering if you're selling with Monopoly. You'll have automated ordering of products over there. So let's say you're somebody who's in, and you guys are all smart people, you know this. If you're an elite and let's say you're a Monopoly, you're selling on Amazon and you're sourcing from one of the elite sources, you can actually automate that side. So for example, I speak with somebody like Matt, who's doing about 100,000 a month in sales using Monopoly, and he spends about 4 hours a day just sitting there finishing orders. He just has to fulfill all these orders for people. That would be entirely automated. He wouldn't have to do it himself. That would be just done for him. Regarding the customer support and how do we provide customer support, will this take away from that? No, it won't, because you actually do still get to provide customer support to your buyers on eBay and your buyers on Amazon. Now, initially, you will continue providing customer support the same way. The 10% of the orders where you require customer support, you would go into eBay and do those Q&A just like you would. But, obvious question, what happens for international members who don't have their own eBay account, right? Because they're actually piggybacking off of our internal system that we're building for them. The way it works for them is actually pretty unique. Because of that, I had to build a system which we will actually release for all of our members. Any customer support issues, instead of going into eBay, they'll actually show up in your DS Domination back office. That's the other reason why our new design is so clean, because we needed that space. You're going to have these customer support issues as they come in, or any notifications that come in from eBay are going to be shown in the notification section of your DSC back office. So you will actually be able to do all of your customer support and everything else like that internally as well. Then we're going to analyze all of those and see what are the most asked questions or most common customer support issues, right? When we see those, then we will be able to release something into the system, and that's the whole idea behind this. It's so beautiful. We'll be able to release pre-filled answers for you guys. So then it will already say, oh, this question just came in. Does this canned response apply? And you will say, yep, this is the answer. And that answer will automatically go into your eBay account and will already respond to the customer. So it won't take away from the customer support, and it will not take away from the personalized touch and things like that. It's just about making you more efficient, helping you address more customers, and so on and so forth. In fact, we'll have an entire training purely on customer support. And it's not going to be how do you deal with the customer so they don't mess with you. It's actually going to be how do you make the customer happy. And we actually have Nathan, for example, who's doing $150,000 a month on eBay alone. And he has a support staff that he has trained. And then him and I discussed way back, we were going to set up this office in India and we're going to have this call center and blah, blah. But he has this team that's trained really well. He's done an exceptional job with it. And he's actually going to have his entire staff go through, this is every possible question that's going to come up. Here is the ideal answer for it. Here's your second best answer for it. And we're going to have that in a template format, and we'll make that available to everyone. So again, we are very aware of this stuff, right? I mean, this is one of the big differences is that the leaders that we have now and the people who are providing the training in here and the people who are actually guiding us through a lot of this stuff are people who are actively doing it at this minute. It's not somebody who did it and they don't do it anymore, or they kind of guessing on what might be happening there. This is people who are actively doing it right now. So we get to hear like in real time, Amazon just made this one change, or Wayfair just said this, or stuff like that. We hear that instantly, and there's an instant responses. Somebody gets on the phone with the company and stuff like that. It's all getting addressed in real time. So this is a tremendous resource, to the point that I think a lot of you will realize only after we put this stuff out. Okay, will the event have DST 2.0 gear? Yes, there will be gear on there. We will not have underwear, unfortunately for you guys, but we will have shirts and hats. That was the question. The question was, will you have that?
Sorry.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So actually, perfect question, Gina. So Gina is asking, look, in June, eBay is going to come up with this new change where you are going to require some product identification number, like a UPC code. Did you notice right here, let me move this out of the way. Do you see this thing right here, UPC, currently optional? All you guys would do is you would click on Get UPC, and our system will pull up the UPC code for you and put it in here.
Boom.
You're already taken care of. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that one. When will DST 2.0 be ready for a rollout for everybody else? End of this month at the event. If I bought a ticket but cannot attend the event, when will I receive all the stuff? Okay, you'll receive a recording of the event about 3 days after the event. Okay, and you will then get
at the latest.
At the latest, yes, and then you will get stuff from there. And all of the bonuses that ticket holders get, you will get all of those around the same time as well. Okay, can we add pictures manually? Yes. Okay, so here's one important thing. You guys will be able to do a lot of. So again, I kind of focus more on the automation side. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you can do. And Carly, you know some of the things that are still being worked on that will kind of blow this thing at a whole new level. What happens with pictures is, for example, you want to optimize your pictures, you want to use the right name of the file, you want to use the right tagging and so on. So you'll actually see, again, this is done, but I didn't show it over here. But there's actually going to be a little thing over here that says images. And you'll click on images, and it's going to drop down. It's going to show you the images that are there, and you can edit what you want the file name to be and what the description or tagging, if anything like that you want to edit, what do you want all of that stuff to be. And then you will just do that over here in DST. You don't have to download the file and then upload the file or something. You'll just make those changes in the boxes right here. When you click on Save Listing, our system will download those files, change the names, change the tagging and all that stuff, scramble the image, go to eBay and post the image for you. Okay, so there's that. But keep in mind, you still don't even have to use this, if you will. You can actually just copy paste the stuff over and make a listing manually. If you want to do it manually, you can still make the listing manually on eBay, and you can just come back here, and then for step 2, for the tracking part, you can just enter the listing ID and your profit goal manually, and then our system will again track it like you did using our system. So again, all of this I have gone through like about 1,800 times in my head to make sure that we didn't miss any of this stuff. Okay, will we get the thumb drive if you can't? Yes, you will get the thumb drive content. You won't get a physical thumb drive, so you will lose out on about $9 value right there, but you will get the content that will be on the thumb drive in your back office.
Do you want to, real quick, I'm just going to chime in while you're looking for another question. On the thumb drive itself, you're going to have some crazy training. You're going to have YouTube training that is only available for purchased products right now. So YouTube training, you're going to get Craigslist training. You're going to have some really cool new training that we just got today, cutting edge stuff on YouTube, pay-per-click. So that's going on that thumb drive as well, Hitesh. Nuts. And You're getting sales funnels, done for you sales funnels. So yeah.
Yep. Okay, now, so one other thing to keep in mind, guys, is this is obviously built right now with about 90% of our members in mind, right? 95% of all of our users, this is what they need. Now, there's some sideline things. For example, Can I use different template? Can I save these templates as things that I want? Can I use eBay global preferences in here and things like that? All of that will be released one after another. Okay. For example, like I said, even for fulfillment of your orders, right now we are beginning with Amazon because that's a significant chunk of our users use Amazon. But then we have already plans, not just plans, but we already have in action the release of many other versions as well, many other things as well. Other sources for fulfillment, other sources for tracking, and so on. That's already there. So just keep in mind, as we go forward, this will keep getting better and better. And, I mean, look back and see what was DS Domination in June of 2014 versus what it was in September of 2013. You could not even say it was the same company. I mean, we were that dramatically different. The same thing is going to happen here. We are releasing the stuff, and it's going to come out, and then we will keep improving and keep adding and do all that stuff. But right out the gate, I believe 95% of our users will have the perfect solution for what they are doing right now, and it will actually allow you to start focusing on some other things that you're not doing, some other profitable things that you're currently not doing, but you will be able to soon. Okay, so yeah, any questions about like some of the more exotic things in here? That's all going to be there. Like I said, and it's not just that you guys want that exotic stuff. Like I said, our leadership team is people who are doing these insane numbers. So they come up all the time, and they're like, can we add this too? Because that would be crazy. It would increase my profit margin by 0.5%. And 0.5% to somebody who's making $1,000 a day is significant enough to do it. So we get all the stuff inside all the time. Okay, do we get more banners and resources for affiliates? Yes, that is very high on our priority. We're going to be putting on a lot of resources for affiliates. In fact, with Options Domination, we didn't put out any resources for affiliates because we wanted to actually just let the product run. We just wanted to see the product running over a couple of months or so. And especially, I mean, it helps us identify, yeah, these signal types are very popular, these signal types are not, these signal types require too much analysis, this might not be suitable for users, live sessions are doing great, we might want to do another one and things like that. So we're perfecting that, and then we were always like, we'll perfect that, and then we will allow a big affiliate promotion to happen there. And of course, we have some other little fun things that, should I mention for options or should I not? Should we just leave that for the event? Guys, if you have the ticket, honestly, there's one thing that's going to come in Options Domination that'll obviously be first available only to the ticket buyers. That will just that'll change everything.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what? I'm not going to say it because now we have two things that we can't say. We have one thing for Options Domination and we have one thing for DS Domination that's only going to be for our ticket or attendees, not even attendees, but necessarily if you are participating, our event participants, then you will see. So
the madness.
Yes, the madness. All right, guys. So, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, there is a little trip being done by the FBA Ninja the morning of Friday for the event. She's actually going to go and do a live shopping trip to show you guys how you can make money scanning. She's going to go to a store, she's going to pick up items, she's going to scan them, she's going to send them in. There's going to be a bunch of people following her around, and we're going to have our videographer follow around and just like actually take every single, and these are people who are doing about $20,000 a month in sales on Amazon just with scanning part. So you're going to get to see that as well. If you're an event attendee, you might be able to even attend it with her. There's going to be a limit because we don't want 1,000 people going into the store. They're going to freak out. But you will get that as well. Okay. And yes, we can see the questions. If you are a ticket buyer but not an Options Domination member, do you still get the perks? Well, you get all the perks for DSC side, but why would you want perks for Options Domination side? Because you won't have an account. So Charlie Browning asks, can I retire now? No, you cannot actually. This is the time this is what I was getting at. The salespeople would be like, oh, you can retire. This is, you can go do this. Nothing has happened yet. We've just shown you a potential thing that can change things dramatically and will, but it hasn't happened yet. So please don't retire yet. Retire after you've started using it and you've started making objective money in your account. These moments, guys, is when we know you guys are very excited. That is the moment that typically a sales pitchy guy would nab and be like, will feed off of your emotion and make you like him and make you love him and then make you buy something. And we don't do that because that is the most vulnerable you can get somebody to be, and that's just wrong. I absolutely despise emotional selling because of that. Okay. Will there be a live stream of the events in the future? No, there will not be a live stream. We don't do live streams on purpose because, one, it's an added expense. Okay, that's the minor thing. But live streams typically are glitchy, and there is something or the other that goes wrong. And why would you want a live stream since we'll give you a recording anyway, so you'll be able to see all the content taught and things like that anyway.
Kind of cheapens it.
Yeah, it does. And yeah, I don't know. Live streams just have issues, and plus we like the idea that we can edit things out later and stuff like that. Like last time we had a so-called family.
Don't say it.
Yep. Yep. So we just had to edit. Yeah, let's just edit something.
There were edits.
Yes. Will there be a meet and greet? Oh, just a second. Are you concerned about the hotel floating away at the event? No, this hotel is very well equipped. I mean, if last year's hotel, this one will put it to shame by a large margin. So we're not worried about the hotel floating away yet. We are worried somebody might drop ship the hotel and things at the hotel, but
the lamps in the room.
Yeah. How do we get a test OD account to practice before starting for real? You just go into options domination, log into your account, and set up a demo account, and you can just start demo trading. How much extra will we have now to pay? Okay, so you know what? Let me clarify this. So right now, you guys already pay $20 a month for Pro, $100 a month for Elite. I should say 99. I don't want to be misrepresenting the facts here. 99 for Elite and 35 for Supremacy. Okay, that's what is currently paid for these three items. What we are going to do is, so the only thing that will change in price is Supremacy, because the automated ordering and all the other fancy stuff that you saw, only this is going to go up to $49 a month. Okay, but what we are doing is, because we hate the idea of price increases of any kind, what we are doing is we're going to combine these three into a single subscription that will be cheaper than what you're paying right now. Okay, so that's going to be automatically a discount for you guys right out of the gate. And then we're also going to give you the option of another package in that, which will make it even cheaper. And we are talking about massive, massive discount, about 40%. So the point is this: you're already paying for this stuff every month, and we will take price off of that. So you don't have to keep paying it every month, or you take a big discount off of it and stuff like that. And then on top of that, your ticket price will get discounted in addition to that. So you will save hundreds of dollars over the course of using this stuff. And we're going to give you the whole breakdown. You guys don't have to worry about it. I promise it's going to be a deal that you will look at and you will say, this is amazing. And you know what? You really guys should be thanking our affiliates a lot. Our leaders who are affiliates in typical companies and in typical affiliates are always asking companies to release very overpriced products because that means more commissions for them. And our leaders have genuinely been saying, let's see what we can do to provide this at the lowest cost possible to our users. That's their own internal thought process and their push as well. So you guys really need to thank like some of your team leaders, like the FSN team, Dream Team, and a lot of these guys have actually been coming to us saying, there are people on our team, they can't afford expensive stuff, or it really hurts people when they're spending a lot more money on these fees and so on. And that's one of the reasons why we were very hesitant even about launching Genesis last time around, why we did that cheaper than it was worth, is because of those questions and these issues. So we'll actually be making sure that you guys pay less than what you're paying right now and get all of the automation on top of it, okay? So just making sure that that's clear to everybody. And by the way, if you're on the old supremacy, which was a cheaper supremacy, that the only function that supremacy did was it followed up with your buyers. You can still keep doing that. Yeah, that's still going to be available, and that's just going to stay active for you. But if you want all the magical functionality, that's what this price is for. But actually, once you actually count the discounts and stuff, your price really won't be going up at all. And you'll see. I can't just give away everything before the event. We need something for the event. So I'll explain that. And then we will have an all-in-one upgrade available 6 weeks later when we launch the new M2 and G2, which is the second version of Genesis and second version of Monopoly. When we bring that out again, if you already have those, you will get a free upgrade. You guys don't have to pay. I need to like hammer this in. This is not a typical MLM webinar where we're trying to pitch you guys something. We're just telling you we're trying to have you not pay us more. We're just trying to have you come along into a new, very, very positive move towards a direction that will radically transform everything about e-commerce. All right, so that's basically it. I think we have addressed every question. Man, there's still questions coming in, and unfortunately, it's hard to tell because a lot of them are repeats, so it's hard to know which one is the one.
Yeah, there's 1,000 people on here, so it's really hard to get to all the questions. And
Yep.
and kind of, I hate to be the party pooper here, but I do want to get this replay out as soon as possible.
And we got to keep this short as well, guys. So just one final thing. This question is important. What is the difference between VIP versus regular? First of all, VIP people are going to get some extra training sessions at the event, and obviously the recording as well. They're going to get that. Regular tickets will not be getting those. And then also regular tickets will not be getting the 2 special training webinars on the trading side of options domination, and they will also not be getting the indicator on the thumb drive. The thumb drive content is for VIP members. Okay, so that's the primary difference, and that's basically it. Okay, so just that's the primary difference. And obviously a VIP ticket there's really no true distinction because you guys are getting that as a discount on your product anyway. So you might as well get the VIP because you're going to get that money back anyway. All right. And yes, Julie, you would be better off waiting to get Genesis until we launch G2. I think you would be a whole lot happier.
Well, on the flip side of that, I was going to say on the flip side of that, it's going to switch, so you'll have G2 anyway. But if you're getting an event ticket, then you want to, let's just say you want to hold off for a minute.
Yeah,
get your event
hold
ticket.
off. Hold on, and then there'll be confusion. I mean, there's always...
What other company would say that? Actually, let me just, anyway. What other company would say, oh, no, hold off on buying something? Like, what?
Yeah. All right, guys. The event tickets are available at, what's the URL, Kevin?
mydsevent.com.
All right. So below, if you're watching this replay, below this replay, there's going to be a link that you can click on to go there. It's mydsevent.com. You can see some pictures of the hotel to make you guys think, ooh, this is amazing, you need to be here, but you really shouldn't be looking at these pictures because these pictures are not going to make you money. You should be thinking more in terms of, will this content make me money? So,
classic Tesh. Don't look at these pictures. They're not inside of 2.0.
Yeah. I mean, sure, it's a nice thing, but Oh, I almost forgot. Dude, this is the biggest thing. Not the biggest thing, but one of the biggest things. If you are a VIP ticket holder, okay, if you purchase a VIP ticket and you're an attendee, this is just for attendees because we have to give something special to attendees. You are going to be in this little draw, and we're going to draw out 3 people's names for attending and have VIP tickets at the event. And those 3 people are going to become case studies for our fully managed FBA system where we're going to give you a product, we're going to source the product, we're going to pull the product, we're going to ship the product, label the product, take care of the customs and taxes and everything else on it, list the product, rank the product, fulfill the product, and the product becomes yours for life. Okay, you actually get to keep it. So you'll be one of those 3 case studies. Okay.
And real quick, there's more to that story, okay? So a lot of people that are looking at that, I mean, typically most companies, you would ask, well, what's in it for the company to do that and follow through on that? This is the beginning of something that we're going to be rolling out long term. So you're pretty much, when he said case study, you are kind of the case study as well for something we are doing long term, and the whole support team we are putting together that you get to be the first person to leverage. So really, really cool. You guys are going to flip out.
Yes, yes. Well, you might not necessarily flip out like physically.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Let's
Actually, I
put
don't
it.
know how you physically flip out. I apologize. That's a misspoke. I misspoke.
Yep. So if you are an attendee, okay, not just a ticket buyer, because keep in mind, people who are attending, they're obviously taking out more time. They're making more sacrifices. They're coming there with tickets and with plane tickets in such in many cases. So it obviously makes sense for us to do this, something special. I hope none of the ticket buyers say something like, well, I want that too, because come on, guys, somebody is putting in more effort. We have to reward that as well. But like Kevin said, this is a case study. This is a case study. It will be the first foray into another thing as well. Like I mentioned, fully managed FBA and the Amazon side of things is going to be completely revamped and brought out in a way that will kind of blow you guys away. So yeah, you won't need to worry about, am I going to get coaching for, you don't have to go out. There's a lot of people out there who are charging, tens of thousands of dollars. In some cases, there's somebody who's charging $10,000 or wanted to as well. There's another person who is charging about $25,000 right now. There's a group that charges $5,000 for consultations on FBA selling and things like that. You guys don't need to ever even think about it. This will be provided for you guys in the upcoming G2, which is Genesis 2, and then the way of us making money, or how does the company and how does the support team and how do all the people involved, how do they get compensated, is exactly the same way that we showed you guys just now. It's actually going to be a transactional fee thing as well. So they only make money and we only make money when your FBA items make money. So if we will not want somebody to get into FBA and source an item and the item doesn't sell, because that means we also don't make much money at all. All right, so
Yep.
That's how everything is going to be from now on, guys. Everything is going to be about are the customers making money. If they are, that's when you guys, that's when we get paid. Otherwise, yeah, we're not going to get on a call and try and pump you guys up emotionally and get you to buy stuff. That's not going to happen.
An entire business model based off of the success of the members. The company doesn't make money unless the members make money. And when we tie our success to your success, you're guaranteed to succeed.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yep. And you guys are going to do what, like $500 million in e-commerce sales this coming year? I'm pretty sure that's around what you guys are going to do. So I would much rather, as even as a selfish decision, I would much rather have our company be hooked to that bandwagon instead of everybody come and buy our training. That just is not the future. All right. So there's that. The last day that you guys can get the event ticket is the day of the event. You'll be able to get the tickets until the day of the event. And again, if you don't plan on attending and you're just waiting to get the ticket, maybe your job pays you on the upcoming Friday, you can get the ticket then. Okay, don't worry too much about that. But there's that. And I'm looking forward to seeing Steve there as well. Last time it was cool hanging out with Steve.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. And did you see his travel schedule?
Yeah, he takes like the most insane trips to get to the events.
I know. I can't wait to see you there, Steve. It's going to be fun.
Yep. And okay, Priscilla is asking for the bonuses on the options domination side. If I have the ticket but I don't have options domination yet, do I get it? Yeah, just go and create the options domination account now and you'll still get it. When we actually issue out the bonuses, that's when our system is going to check. Does this person have a ticket? Yes. Does this person have options domination account? Yes. And then it'll get entered into your back office. Okay, and the URL for the ticket, guys, again, is my DS event. Okay, so my dsevent.com. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully this sheds a lot more light on what we are doing, why we are doing what we are doing, how we are doing what we are doing, when we are doing what we are doing, where we are doing what we are doing.
In what reality we're doing what we're doing.
Yes, what reality we're doing it in, who we are doing it with.
All right, we're getting crazy. We're walking into crazy land.
Yep. So everybody, thanks for being on here. It was awesome. If we end up doing another webinar right before the event, we might actually do something crazy like that. We'll see.
Yep.
But if we end up doing another one, try and give other people space because you all got on this one. So we will see you guys again soon. and look forward to seeing all of you in Dallas. If I don't see you guys physically, then looking forward to at least knowing that telepathically that you are watching the videos of the event. Because we have it.
Now, yeah.
Well,
we'll drop ship it to you guys if you want it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. All of you have a great time, and we will see you soon.
Night, everybody.